What's good, superstars? Back with another Veve video. You got Superstar Rob, Superstar Joe, nowhere to be found. He, again, amazing job holding the fort. I am officially back and ready to go, and I'm glad to be back with the Veve fam. 3 weeks, I mean, in this space feels like an extremely long time. I feel like I've been gone forever. So much has happened, so much has changed. I'm glad to be back, and now Joe can take his break. I know his video yesterday said that he needs a break, so he can go take his break, and we'll keep it going over here. So if you haven't already, make sure you become a superstar, smash the subscribe button, and hit the bell. You never know what we're going to hit you with at any given point in time. We like to surprise you sometimes with CEO interviews or other things as well, AMAs. So make sure you hit the bell, get the notification for every video. Also, become a superstar VIP. Want to bring as much value as possible to our VIP membership. You can get our spreadsheets, our drop spreadsheets, which might be useful for you in the next one coming up. So, and pretty good. It's pretty important to use that spreadsheet for drops in this day and age, especially with drops going underlisted. So join our VIP membership, $2.99 a month. We'll do advertisements for you. Let us know if there's anything you need to sell. We'll help you out with that. Thank you to all our members. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. There's a couple extra ones as well. I wrote down D Bean and the Adamverse just joined recently a couple days ago. Thank you guys so much for all your support. We I haven't had a chance to update the spreadsheet yet, or haven't update the slide yet, but hopefully tomorrow I'll have it ready to go. Also, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Reach out to us anytime. We love talking to you, so you can always hit us up, private message us there, and we'll go from there. So let's take a look at the Twitter. Joe's in Florida right now, living the life in Disney. I know there's some bad weather coming up, but while he's been there, he's been taking photos. So he said, when blue and gold R2-D2. I don't know if we'll ever get it. I think there's a color one coming eventually. I don't know if Disney's going to want to repeat the R2-D2 since we already have the gold one, but it's always wishful thinking. So I definitely want to own that if it came up. Trying to check out some other golden moment statues here. What could have been? Yes, what could have been, but unfortunately, all good things have to come to an end. And it looks like for the golden moments here, it's going to be a lot of just wishful thinking. And there was a theme here, walking around the park. I mean, I do the same thing. If I'm walking around the Disney park, I'm looking to take photos of everything that I can even remotely connect to Veve. So he said one of these things is not like the other. And yeah, we know all about that. But of course, looking pretty for sure. And then, yeah, like there was some discussion about Web3, Disney jumping into Web3 world. And probably one of the most interesting things that I saw today was this here from Dr. Profit. Shout out Dr. Profit. He said another demo for Varjo XR3 goggles with physics and hand tracking. Awesome precision. If Varjo can pull this off now, think about what Apple can deliver next year. We've done so many videos talking about the Metaverse glasses. We've talked about Apple, and we've talked about how they're going to be introducing these glasses. There's some talks about even as early as 2024. We know that there's ones that exist right now that you can actually buy on market and use to have this kind of experience. But look at that detail with the hand weight, just wiping through the blue waves and pushing everything over. This technology is becoming so advanced, and we haven't even seen it yet. Can you imagine every day that we have the opportunity to actually experience these things and maybe build some brand new utility to some digital collectibles? So this is the same thing about, should you be going for drops? Should you still be collecting in a bear market? When you start seeing videos like this, it reminds you of the end goal, which is why you may want to hold on to these things long term. Because look at his house right now. It's not very decorated in the background. It'd be pretty cool if while he's playing with this little blue water here, you'd see some very interesting looking collectibles and details in the background. So very, very good post. And Dr. Profit's always sending reminders of how this metaverse world is going to look like in the future. So keep that up for sure. Thank you, Dr. Profit, for that. And then, yeah, this is just one thing that Joe, make sure you stay safe out there. I know he'll be watching later, but we have a big hurricane hitting Florida. Of course, the one time he goes to Disney, they close down the park now for 2 days. So he will not be able to go the next couple of days. Of course, stay safe. Watch, be very, very careful. I know he's been in a hurricane before in Florida, way back, I think in 2004. I was like hurricane was it Hazel? I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, make sure you guys stay safe, and always, maybe unfortunately your vacation has to stay inside the hotel, and you're gonna have to just maybe just watch some more YouTube videos, or maybe make a YouTube video while you're there. Who knows? We'll see what you come up with. So, big news of today: Star Wars. The vehicles of Star Wars, as varied and iconic as that character is himself. This collection showcases an assortment sure to be an exciting addition to your showroom. So we knew, David, you already told us and gave us the heads up that we were going to get more Star Wars vehicles. So they're finally coming. It looks like we're going to get 2 of them. The drop's going to be Friday, September 30th. I am pretty excited about this one. I do like Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars fan. I like Disney as well. But this is going to bring up the topic of today's video, because we're in an environment now. We saw with the Disney Paris posters how premium IP quality drops are really getting banged up and going underlisted. You think you're going to get something good, and then you go for the drop, and then you end up going underlisted. And of course, you can use our probability spreadsheet to help you out with that and help you make that decision. But we just seem to be in this environment that you can't do anything without getting a drop underlisted. So should you still go for drops if they are going to go underlisted? So I have a couple thoughts on this, and those who say no, and I'll give my opinion at the end, but there's good arguments for both sides. Those who say no, it just comes down to the fact that you're most likely going to lose money on a drop. You go for a drop, it could be listed at 60, 80. It's really variable depending on the mint numbers. Of course, if there's like a 100 mint number collectible, you're probably going to make money on that. But it depends on the IP. It depends on the mint numbers. It depends on the listed price. It depends on a lot of factors. So if we saw, like with the Disney posters, at the 60 listed price, most of them went straight to 40. And if you predicted that correctly, you may have decided to stay out of it, especially with the bearish trend in the market. So even once you get it, if you go for the drop, chances are you're probably going to get not the best mint number, and then you're going to, or like the main secret rare, the lowest, if it's a blind box format, the one that's the most sought out after. And then you end up going for it, and then you end up losing money. So why would you keep going for these drops? The market's in a downtrend. We have so many pressures externally outside of Veve right now, making people not have the money to go for the drops. And we see it time and time again. I mean, this is 6 days ago. We saw this from the Fed hikes in the US, how they raised by 75 basis points, because it all comes down to inflation. And this is not a surprise. We've known for a long time that inflation is something that's going to be a problem. We've talked about it for months now on this channel. We know that there's going to be action taken in order to get inflation under control. And one of those things is reducing buying power, something that we've also talked about before when it came to those dirty gems and people's ability to purchase on this app. Literally, the governments of the world right now want you to have lower buying power, because if you have lower buying power, you'll spend less, which will help inflation. It'll help reduce the pace of inflation. So I think that, knowing that we're in an environment where rates are going up, knowing that people are going to constantly try to be finding to scrounge money in order to go for these drops, it's most likely that even after the drop, there'll continuously be a downtrend in price, which would then further deter people from going for drops. And we've seen it in our comments. We've seen some people say, look, I'm just staying out of this right now. I'm just going to watch from afar. I'm not going to do anything. Sometimes one of the comments said less is more, which is true. And it's, you see this sometimes in other markets as well. You see Bitcoin is down 50%. You see the S&P 500. It's took a huge dip today because of the whole rate with the rates going up. And obviously the stock market doesn't like uncertainty. So these things aren't correlated one-to-one, but we're just like in this big melting pot of all these different factors, that where are the population going to find the money for Veve, especially because Veve is not growing. So the existing users are supporting this market right now. They are finding it increasingly harder and harder. And you watching may also be in the situation where you're finding it harder and harder to find the money to go for drops. And you're finding it harder and harder to go to finish your sets. because you've already spent the money into the market. You're finding it harder now to find the free cash flow to bring back into VV. Some of you may be on a dollar cost averaging plan where maybe every couple of weeks you put $200 into VV, you buy what you can. But not everyone's in that situation where they're able to do that. So as we continue to see these macroeconomic factors increase rates and do whatever, governments do whatever they can to decrease your buying power, obviously people are going to have less money for VV. Now, on the flip side, not all bad, because I'm still going for drops. And I'm the person that never goes for drops. Okay. I'm the person that if you go back to 3-4 months ago, I would be like, yeah, I'm skipping that drop. I'm skipping that drop because I knew it would go underlisted. But every once in a while, there are drops. For example, this Star Wars drop where you have an opportunity to maybe hit a 2-digit collectible, right? You maybe have the opportunity to get a special mint. It's worth it to me because I plan on holding these collectibles for the long run. So knowing that I'm going to hold the collectible for the long run, even let's say it's a listed price of 60 and then, it tanks 50% right off and it's 30 and I've lost 30 gems. I don't mind doing that because I've given myself a chance at getting a really good mint number. And even if I don't get a mint number that's really good, then I set myself up for a chance to maybe, in the future, those collectibles that are like, I don't know what we're going to call them. Let's call them virgin collectibles. Okay. They right off the drop, they've never been traded on the secondary market. Maybe they're going to be worth something. So I'll go for the drop as I go. I'll take, I could wait for the secondary market for it to go underlisted, but I want to go for the drop. I give myself an opportunity knowing that I cannot reflip it necessarily for the same price as the listed, but at least I give myself the chance. And even if it doesn't work out, that's okay. I'm in it for the long run. I'm going to hold. So it depends on your mindset. If you're a flipper, you really can't go for these drops. You really can't. You're just gambling your money away. Your odds are always going to be stacked around your favor. I swear maybe 1 or 2 times that I can recall right now where we had blind box drops where if you went for like 3 or 4, you gave yourself more than a 50% chance of profiting if you sold everything. And VV's had a lot of drops since then, meaning the majority of the time you will most likely lose money if you do go for the drops. You have to know that going into it. But if you're a long-term holder and you understand that you might have, you might not be able to flip it immediately out of the gate, but it's a quality IP. For me, it's IP that I like. I go for Disney drops. I'll go for Star Wars drops. And obviously I'm going for that low mint. I'm going for whatever I can get. We'll let the VV gods provide me the juju that I need. And maybe it works out and maybe it doesn't. And it has. It's worked out before with the lightsabers. I remember when the lightsabers, they were not sold out in the market. I went for 4 or 5 of them and I got a number, 54 Luke Skywalker. So that opportunity doesn't happen unless you go for the drops, even if it means maybe losing 20 or 30. And it's not gambling. It's not gambling because you're going to hold it. You're going to hold it for the very long run. You may not be in a financial position to hold for the long run. If you're not, you should reconsider maybe a different type of strategy where you don't open yourself up to this, this immediate loss that you're going to be forced to sell because you got to cash out because you got to bring your money somewhere else to live, whatever it ends up being. You lost your job. You have to, you have credit card debt. We did videos on how people are taking loans in order to buy VV collectibles. People in those situations right now are in big trouble because rates are flying high. The cost of borrowing money is going up. It may force them now to sell depending on their financial situation, which is going to cause even more selling pressure in the VV market. So these are my thoughts on whether or not you should go for drops. I still have the opinion that if you're a long-term investor in VV, don't be scared to go for drops. Obviously, within your risk tolerance, you might lose 20, 30 gems, maybe even more. You might lose it all. It might go to 0, right? It might go to 0. But if you're a long-term holder, I think that it's worth giving yourself the opportunity at getting one of those special mints. On the flip side, you might just say, you know what, I'm going to stay out of it. I'm going to buy 2 while you get 1 on the drop. That's fine too. You can go buy 2. If you're a long-term holder in VV, everything pumps. You're making double the money because you have 2 of them instead of 1 of them. But if you go for these quality IPs and you get a good mint, I think you'll outpace the person that waits in the secondary market. And I want to stress, this depends. because I skip a lot of drops. I skip a lot of comment drops. I skip a lot of drops. And I'm only advocating this for premium drops, premium IP drops, such as Star Wars. The Star Wars Series 1 might fit the bill. If they come out with 30,000 mints, maybe it's not worth it anymore. But I have a feeling they're going to go pretty low mint on this. They might go maybe, I don't know, 2,000 each. Might see it like the posters, 2 secret rares, to try to reward the VV fan that's sticking around right now. I don't know. What do you guys think? I wouldn't mind seeing some comments below on your thoughts on whether you're going to go for the drop or you're going to stay out of it, even though we don't know everything about it yet. And do you think in general, just generally speaking, do you think you should still go for drops? Do you think it depends? Do you agree with me? Do you think it depends? Or do you think you should stay out of it completely, and just wait on the sidelines for the market conditions to get a little bit better? I'm also curious to know if you're feeling the effects of buying power. I remember when this topic first came up, we talked about buying power when it came to dirty gems, and the market adapted, to the whole environment of dirty gems, and everybody was buying collectibles at pretty much 50% of their cost. If it cost 60 gems, they would say, okay, I'll go spend $30. I'll get 60 gems, I'll go buy it. And that actually helped the prices stay up, I think. I mean, at first it wasn't the best because you had, all these people, flipping and they were able to have a long, wide spread before they took a loss. But then it got to a point where it was just becoming a way to help increase people's buying power, to help keep the market caps high. That's gone. That's gone now. So people are paying full price for their gems, which is in a further reduction in buying power compared to the markets of July, which many people watching this video today probably bought many collectibles in that time frame. So are you feeling now with the macro, as every month goes on, if you just take a second to reflect, are you feeling the burn of the buying power, which is making it harder for you to buy VV collectibles and to go for drops? That's something else I want to know. Let me know below, because I think this is a very important topic, and it's gonna be a theme that we're gonna continue to see as we go month to month and VV is more drops. Because you could go look at our comments from yesterday's video. There was a lot of discussion about how they feel like almost, like VV's taking the money from the community and they're getting richer while everyone else is losing. But you guys can't blame VV. Can't blame VV on that. You don't have to go for the drop. You don't have to buy their products. You would stay out of it completely if you really needed to. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am very happy to be back. The videos are definitely going to be a bit shorter with me around. However, today I literally just landed, so I want to put out this video today. Keep the Iron Man streak alive. We got some surprises coming over the next few days, so make sure you check it out. If you haven't already, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button. Let me pull that back. Smash the subscribe button. Become a superstar. Hit the bell because you want to see the surprises coming up the next couple of days. I love doing these videos with a partner. Okay, I don't like doing them by myself. Believe it or not, it's harder than it looks. So I love doing it with a partner so we can bounce off. We can have discussions, bounce ideas off each other. You could also become a superstar VIP. I think we have over 100 members now. So again, you guys are killing it. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate you. We want to bring as much value. We want to bring as much as we possibly can to the VIP membership, so that you get the most amount of value for your membership. It's $2.99 a month. Honestly, you might want to go get that spreadsheet, guys, because I think you're getting it for this next drop coming up. And send us some ads. My preference is that you send us the ads on YouTube. I know sometimes we get them on Instagram. That's fine too, but my preference is on the YouTube. Post what you want to have advertised and we'll get it out for you. Again, thank you guys all so much for watching. We will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.